My nigga Don hopped on Blackie Speaks ass because he was talking shit about black people.
Fatigue, Why We're Tired of Ghetto Culture, video by Blackie Speaks.
That's a crazy name.
It sounds like this video is gonna go.
And Don is subscribed. Oh, he about to do it to him, and he's subscribed. Hold on, let me see his Alex the Virgo recommended and his recommended.
So,
am I recommended anywhere? Nah, that's all right. We'll get the next one, Coach. We'll get the next one.
Oh, it sounds
payouts. Payouts. I seen payouts. How much money you making, Don?
This video is gonna go in a pretty coonish direction.
It sounds like it's going in a coonish direction.
It's getting spooky. I just came across something called black fatigue, and basically, it's white Americans are sick of our shit.
I got news for you.
Why you gotta say? Why it's like whenever they go y'all and all black people go y'all. Why y'all all gotta rope all of us together when some black people do some messed up stuff? Why does everybody have to suffer from a specific demographic? I don't get it.
Black Americans are sick of your shit. Black people are sick of black people's shit.
Why is it black people
saying that they're tired?
Why not just those people?
How black people?
There's white people that kill each other. There's Mexican people that kill. There's all types of people from different demographics that do messed up stuff towards their race. Why do we have to rep those people as black people? Why can't they just be bad people that aren't for us? What the hell?
Are blaming things that have happened to us historically in the past, and they are also now adding different things that they have seen in society to that behavior as well, like loud mouthing or maybe, you know, using certain words or certain behaviors in public.
Black fatigue seems to be growing, especially within the black community. There's a growing frustration within certain behaviors.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna go in a pretty coonish direction.
Yeah, it's just giving coon.
And more people are starting to speak up about it.
White people, black people, Hispanic people are saying we have black fatigue because of the behavior of some black people.
That's
It's
stupid.
not racist to call black people out for their behavior and what they're doing to society at this moment. I'm glad people are noticing this because.
But why are you calling it out as like a black person thing? Like we as black people, or like even people say we as black people just allow this. Bro, it's like when we're addicted to Don Julio smoking blunts and killing each other or beating up girlfriends, is black men are violent towards black women, and we allow this. But whenever a countryman in a song speaks about being drunk off whiskey and he probably slaps his wife around, nobody says nothing. Whenever there's the white girl, the white girl who has a rich dad and is a straight whore and is moving around. There's a lot of white girls who be whoring. It's not that all white women are whores. That's just those women specifically who are white just moving around. Why we gotta over-identify race with everything, bro? It's just there's people that do things. And yes, there's some people that don't speak on it, but there also is the people who do.
It's been so many years and it's finally catching up to y'all.
So many years and it's finally catching up.
What is she talking about?
Y'all? What do you mean y'all?
What is she even talking about? What's catching up to us?
Y'all? Aren't you black?
Exactly.
Interesting.
Is there some truth to it, or is it
There's
just
a lot
another
of
form of racism? And how come so many black people are starting
Oh, it's racism for sure. That's all it is.
to speak up about this now? Either way, we got a lot to talk about today. Now, black fatigue is a growing term in the social media world, a phrase that's meant to explain a rising frustration, dissatisfaction, and even resentment towards a small portion of the black community
must not
and
want the
some of the
video to get
dysfunctional behaviors
copyrighted.
that are increasingly
That's
being
smart.
called out. But here's the thing, this isn't a new term. The phrase black fatigue was originally coined in 2020.
Yo, Don is smart. He zoomed in. It looks like what he did was, did he like zoom in at the beginning? So that way he can't copyright the video all the way if he gets mad at his take.
We get to have white fatigue for all the white people that do
slavery?
evil things and make life harder for
Mass
everybody.
incarceration.
Like,
Yo, I saw a video recently because I like watching crime videos. There's this white guy who is kidnapping little girls. Like he not even kidnapping, but he was pulling little girls in the bathroom and he got let out on probation for it. Yet there's a guy who spends the rest of his life in jail for weed, which is legal now. There's laws against us. The whole system is not made for us.
People who bank executives, like the guys who caused the 2008 crash. What about the white people that shoot up schools and Walmarts and shit?
What about all the white people who consume our culture, who are the main consumers of the same culture that they profile us for? What about the white porn companies that poeticize a black male version body that is also used the same as the NBA and NFL executives, the same Hollywood executives who poeticize a black image of us in media, in films, in porn, in rap videos that they also use after commercializing that, they also use that to profile and kill us. What about that? What about that? People like rap labels, this and that. If it wasn't for all the white viewers liking it and consuming it, because white is the majority, so nothing's mainstream without a white majority audience. Kendrick Lamar didn't become the giant Kendrick Lamar until Damn, his album that was propagated toward a white audience with his meme culture and all that. Without them, none of this would be broadcasted. So it's like you're mad at the people who are just living within the system. You're not mad at the people who made the system, when that's what's the real problem. You're mad at the effect of a cause. You got to fix the cause to fix an effect.
Like that. Do we get that white fatigue for that small portion?
Come
what
on,
about all
Don.
the white,
I love Don,
the
bro.
white
He's cooking.
opioid addicts out there? Do we get that white?
The crack epidemic, where they came and dropped crack and guns in the hoods of New York and Chicago. Come on now. And those just so happen to be the two worst states when it comes to like crime, black on black crime, quote unquote. Come on now.
For all of them?
Come on now.
No? I'm sure we don't.
By Mary Frances Winters, a black author from New York. She was inspired to explore the concept after hearing the same phrase come up again and again from black millennials. "I'm tired," they kept on saying. The exhaustion wasn't just physical. It ran deep, tied to emotion.
He's talking about black fatigue and playing music that's quote unquote part of the black fatigue. I don't get it.
And identity. In her book, Black Fatigue, How Racism Erodes the Mind, Body, and Spirit, she explains that the original meaning of the term was about the centuries-long toll of the systematic racism passed down through generations. Now, that was the original definition, but now the term has taken on a completely new meaning.
They always do that, bro. They take our most beautifulest things and turn them into something else. The same way Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all those designers, they took African symbols and they made them into white consumerism capitalistic symbols. The same way what is it? What's the shit? They take I forgot what this shit's called. It'll come back to me. But they always like with the LGBTQ, they take the most natural thing, which I have nothing against gay people. I don't really, y'all niggas know I don't give a fuck. But they take something that's extremely natural, like the rainbow. That's the most natural, most beautifulest color ever. And some nigga decided to take that same most natural, beautifulest symbol ever and turn it into the symbol of something that is not natural. Like, you see how they take something and they completely reverb it to have a whole completely new meaning, and they don't educate you on the original meaning of it. It's how they kill our tradition. That's how they kill our tradition. Because what is tradition is instead turned into something negative. The same way as spirits. When people hear hoodoo, voodoo, or anything spirits related, magic related, they automatically, even though that was part of black tradition before we were indoctrinated with Christianity, as slaves. All Haitian slaves that were taken from Hades that practiced voodoo, hoodoo, whatever spirits, root, ancestral connections, and magic. There's specific documents, specifically after the Haitian Revolution as well, that whenever they were put on ships, before they were put on plantations, they were to be indoctrinated with Christianity. I'm pretty sure that was an order from one of the Napoleon generals himself. But most people don't know that.
That's some white shit if I've never fucking seen it, though. A term created by a black woman to describe the exhaustion that black people may feel as a result of their heritage, their ancestry,
I thought it was of white
trauma
people.
and the burdens that have come along with that. White people took that term and turned it into a dog whistle.
Black fatigue. They always do that.
People.
Yeah, that's the
Due
most
to black
white shit I've
fatigue,
ever
it has
heard.
recently
They
been
always do
turned
that.
into a feeling that some white and black people have who say they are damn tired of foolishness of some black people.
It is a completely behavior-based
I'm with you, Don.
issue. And when
Then why are you calling it black fatigue? Do
That's just
all
people.
black people operate in this way? That
We don't look at every white person that does something racist and go, "Oh, all white people are racist." There is some people, but again, those aren't black people. Those aren't white people. Those are just ignorant people. I just reacted to a video today where a cop low-key profiled these black people. I said, I'm not going to look at this cop and go, all cops are racist. Now, no, that's just one ignorant person with his own bias. But honestly, I'm just getting tired of the term racist or black. Because I've always said, whenever you make the problem worldwide, you strip yourself of changing. Because if you go, the black community's in shambles, What about your community? You look past your own community, which is right in front of you, to look ahead at everybody else and go, everybody else is messed up, and it takes the responsibility out of your hands to focus on yours. So when you go, the whole world is racism. You take the power and duty of yourself to look at how you might have racistic, you know what I'm saying, objectifying views. And that's what a lot of people do with terms like this. They take the responsibility away from themselves of actually dealing with the problem and how they can change and help fix in their own personal lives. That's what this is. It's just complaining instead of, it gives you the ability to feel like you're changing and you're adding on to a conversation and you want change, but you don't actually actively have to seek out and do said change. That's exactly what these type of people who say black fatigue are doing. The same as the problem with the black community or ghetto code. That's exactly what they're doing.
That you're supposedly tired of. And understand, the word fatigue would imply that you've been doing something. You've been exercising some degree of effort to earn your exhaustion, but you've done nothing but stand by the wayside and live your life. And these black people more than likely you don't interact with them at all. You think this white
in that, yes, exactly, Don. Give it up for Don. It's like when people like, there's so many baddies, all baddies want boom boom boom, no girls really want to date, and you don't see the baddest girl in your everyday life all the time. That's only on social media, where you're gonna see, if a million people is not that many people compared to the grand scheme of people. But if you're always just seeing that 1,000,000%, because that's what the algorithm will show you, you'll start to think that all girls want boom boom boom. If you only seeing online a specific type of black person, even though on your everyday life, you're not just every day you walk outside you're gonna see that type of black person, at least unless that's what you're specifically attracting, because that's what you believe in your head. So you're always going to see that because that's what you're looking for. So it's like these things they're complaining about and this coonery they sit around and make money off of on YouTube, they don't even experience that every single day unless it's online, which isn't real. It's not real. You're making it up in your head.
Woman here who looks the way she looks is interacting with ghetto black people.
Look at her. She looks like her face and the way her... You know what? I'm not even going.
On a daily basis in such a way where they're also bothering her. I go to Walmart often, and I live in the Walmart I go to is frequented by people who clearly live in lower income communities, usually people of color, but also poor whites as well.
I stay by a hood
and
Walmart.
I'll tell you what.
Let's be honest though, is any Walmart really frequented by people who make a lot of money? If it's not for like the outdoor purchases or anything like that, is anybody really frequently going to Walmart? No, actually, because that is
none of them ever fucking bothered me.
Yeah,
not the poor blacks.
They be doing their own
poor
thing.
Mexicans, not the poor Indians, and not the poor white people.
Everybody be doing their own thing.
People, regardless of their class or race, just mind their fucking business all day.
Doing their own
and so,
thing,
in the off chance that this white woman ever has to interact with somebody from a lower income community who likes to drink fucking brown liquor
or maybe curses a little, maybe just curses, maybe just speaks a little bit louder, because especially in the hood in black households, you don't become heard if you're quiet. If you just whispering, your mom talk loud, music's playing, everybody's loud. So it's black people specifically, and we're always overlooked. We've been overlooked in a lot. We've been overlooked in history. We've been like the forgotten child. So the only way black people are seen a lot is by being loud, is by being famous. That's why everybody wants to become famous and get a chain and some, because we just want to be seen. A lot of us got daddy issues or mama issues. A lot of kids don't have. I come from a fatherless home, so it's like we don't be feeling seen. So we talk a little bit louder than the other races because we're trying to be seen. I'm not justifying sometimes what's the word? Not accounting behaviors, but I'm just saying there's a reason we are the way we are, and it's not our fault. It's a system that was created in which we're just surviving like everybody else. But it's easy to say you need to just work hard to win a race when somebody shot you in your foot before the race and you started in last place of the race, and somebody shot you in your foot. White people, mental slavery, this system, and them to tell you, well, you need to just work harder to win the race. Why you can't win the race? You need to limp faster. It's easy. It's easy to do that when you're not the one shot in the foot and you're at the back of the line starting. Versus white people, you get to start in the front of the line, full body, fully rejuvenated.
And turn up at a nice little function and maybe smoke a black and mild, and maybe has a few tattoos, or
Maybe
sags
curse
his
or something.
pants,
I don't know.
or has a nice collection of Jordans, or she wears a weave, you know, and have long fingernails.
Bro, it be the bro. I'm from the suburbs, but I have a lot of cousins that are from the hood, and you know, siblings. So on weekends, I used to be at the hood a lot. Or whenever when I was at certain families' houses, I would just be chilling in the hood. So I have like hood influences. I sampled the hood like a song, but I'm from the suburbs, right? I've lived in the hood for like first 5 years of my life. I wasn't even conscious for real, right? But so most of my life I've been in the suburbs. But in my personal experience, the realest people I've came across, the people I've clicked with the most sometimes and like really like resonate and trust is hood niggas. Like I don't hood people, hood girls. Like I know they're loyal. They gon' it be the suburbs niggas sometimes. I'm not even trying to, not all suburbs, but certain people, kids from the suburbs, they be like, man, bruh.
Guess what? More than likely, they don't fucking
Uppity.
bother you like how they don't fucking bother anybody.
They just be in their own world, bruh, doing them.
So who are these people that are exhausting you? They don't exist. You don't interact with them. You're just being racist for no reason.
White people, black people, Hispanic people are saying we have black fatigue because of the behavior of some black people. We've all seen it. We all know what it is. It's everywhere.
You've seen it.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere.
What the fuck? I don't even see it. And
I
black.
live in a very black community. I don't fucking experience that shit. I don't experience black people causing me a problem.
There are thousands of TikToks on it, posts all over X, YouTube videos, and even
3 customers ran away. Bro, people do this all the time. It's not just a black person thing, dude.
some mainstream outlets starting to cover it. I only started hearing about this
It's
term
not
very
just
recently,
black
and at
people,
first
dude.
I assumed it was mostly coming from people outside the
Yeah,
black
this is
community.
coon
But to
shit.
my surprise, a large portion of the conversation is actually being led by black people, and that's when I
Y'all, this video is gonna be long. Let me check the time. Yeah, it's already 16 minutes. Yep, this is gonna be
knew
a
that I
long
had
video,
to do my
y'all.
own research by looking into this and sharing my
You're
take on
welcome.
it with you. Many of the most viral TikToks on this topic
Now, this guy's an immigrant. I don't even think he lives in America.
I don't even listen to immigrants because immigrant black people, African people, they swear they're so much better than us, and they swear that if they was in the same position as us, they would rock it so much better. They swear that if they got raped, killed, and murdered like us and didn't get equal protection under the law, were in systematic places that were literally against them, they swear to God that they'd be doing so much better. Just because they have the same skin as us, and just because some of them can come over here even though they look like us, not little do they know that there's permits for them. There's minority permits, grants for them that black people are not offered because we're Americans. They swear that they would be just off as good as us if they were where we were. They swear. And you know what's funny enough, as a black person, African American, Native American that I am, I still don't wish that on white people. As much as the white people and everybody else says that we need to just get over it and they would be so much better off if they went through slavery and all this, I still don't even wish that on them. I don't even wish that on them because I know what that is, bro. For God's sake, bro. Bro, the neighborhood I live in is called blank blank plantation. So that means right where I sit right now in my room, I'm sleeping over the dead bodies of where my ancestors worked, were raped, were killed, were overt worked for free and never got nothing in return for it. We're derogators, we're dehumanized constantly, we're psychologically tortured for the hell of it. And I'm sleeping over their dead bodies and sitting over their dead bodies right where I talk right now. And my family or nobody ever got a check for it. I'm also partially Native American. So my other ancestors' land was taken from them and they were made to walk the Trail of Tears to go up to, what was it? Kansas or some shit like that. But you feel me? So, you know, I'm living like, I don't wish that, even though I can't fully break it down consciously what I feel for them because I didn't experience it per se, but your DNA, the same as your DNA carries, you know, your facial features of your ancestors, their body measurements and stuff, you also carry memories. They say your birthmark is where you were killed in your past life, or if you're scared of snakes, I'm scared of snakes. That means maybe your ancestor was bit and killed by a snake, or maybe he was strangled by a snake. I don't know. So I feel it in my soul, that pain. So I don't wish that on nobody. But y'all niggas be acting like y'all are so much better than us because y'all didn't go through what we went through. Y'all didn't go through it. And y'all will never understand because I've never been through it.
Are coming from
So he doesn't even know what the fuck he talking
Exactly.
in the community itself.
Bro, I
Black
love
fatigue
Don,
is
bro.
real. Everybody.
Shout out to Young. If you ever watch it, shout out to Young Don and Sauce God. I love that nigga with all my heart, bro. Because I remember like a year or two ago, he was on a whole nother kind of in the red pill. And you know, when you get in the red pill space, I've been there myself when I was uneducated. It's easy to fall into the coonish ways because the red pill is racist. They don't like black people. They're white. They play into the white supremacy. And then he took some time off. See, unlike Neon, he had a silent change. Change is silent. It's not overtly loud. And hey, I'm changing. It's silent. It's all the things you don't see. It's the man in the mirror, the shadow work. Don went away for about a year. He came back, and look at him now using his platform to speak out for us. And he's not even African American. He moved here when he was, what, 15, 16? He's not even African American, but he's experienced the African American culture enough to understand what this is. He's Jamaican. Shout out to my nigga Don. Send and love your way, my brother.
He is tired of black people, but it's two specific types
Look
of
at
black
him.
people.
You sound like a white dude. Like, this is whenever it's viable to say you talk white. Now you sound like a white dude. Black people in this.
That everyone
You're
is
not
tired
white,
of.
buddy.
Number one, everybody is tired of loud, ghetto, and ratchet, and violent, and mean, and angry all the time.
You can find that in any
Everybody is
race.
tired of them. Nobody wants to deal with them. Even other black people do not want to deal with these people. You know when you see them in public. You know when they're going to give you...
Look at this nigga walking around. Look at the people walking by. This guy lives in a white community around white people. He don't know what he talking.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, boy. If you took that, if you grew some nuts, put some bass in your voice, maybe put on a little bit of tattoos, maybe put a hoodie on, or just maybe had a white tank top instead of that one on. Let's see how they would treat you. Or the same way you're talking now, let's wait till nighttime and see if you don't alarm white people as well. That's you see, it's cool while you're in the daylight. You got your little white boy voice on, your little white Jerry curl, little white boy shoes and hoodie and all that. But let's take all that off and let's turn it to nighttime and see if people don't walk a little faster by you.
Talking about. I want to go through your day today and tell me when you become a victim of black fatigue. When does some random black woman get in your face and start being loud and rude and mean and angry to you? That shit ain't happening to you.
Attitude at the CVS, everybody knows it and they want to avoid it.
So how did we even get here? The answer to this can go in a few different directions. But let's talk about the most impactful factor of this, being the media. We're talking
Kodak?
viral body cam footage of police encounters involving black people, to dine and dash stories that reinforce negative stereotypes.
Surveillance cameras caught 3 people leaving without paying a $200 bill for a shrimp and lobster dinner, according to the owners.
Or the countless of
Okay, so I guess white people don't dine and dash.
fights, whether it's on a street corner
I've
or
seen
inside
white people dying in that.
McDonald's. The majority of these clips tend to feature people who, look like me, and they also seem to go viral, often shaped.
Yeah, he doesn't even look African. He looks like Somalian. Look at his hair. If you look at his hair, look at his eyes and his nose structure, he looks some like overseas African. You don't even look African American, buddy.
How outsiders view blackness as a whole. This type of content has
Get on his
definitely
ass,
influenced how a
Don.
lot of
Go
people,
ahead.
white, Hispanic,
Let it
or
rip.
even black folks, view the culture. Unfortunately, over time, it's helped reinforce harmful narratives, and in many cases has been used to normalize different forms of racism. And let's be clear, we all understand that none of the reactions rooted in these stereotypes are justified.
And then it's like, when you look at these people too, I'm gonna be honest. These dudes look like they don't even have fathers. Again, y'all are looking at the effects of a cause of a racist system, and you're mad at the effect. These boys are the effect of this shit. I'm not saying they're right or we should just let niggas steal, or every time a nigga steal, don't apprehend them or whatever. But like, these don't look like niggas who got good guidance anyways. They look misguided. They might be a little hungry, nigga. You don't know, but y'all just quick to judge. Y'all just quick to judge, man.
Because it's not fair or accurate to take the behavior of a few and apply it to an entire
That was stupid though for them to record.
group.
I ain't gonna lie.
However, when certain behavior
Yeah, and I can find you mad videos of white people in Seattle
Come on,
and
man.
fucking San Francisco doing the same.
Come on, man. Yeah, if I was gonna steal though, I wouldn't record that shit for sure. I'd just steal.
Shit at a CVS. Okay.
Come on,
are
man.
caught on camera and go viral over and over and over again, they unfortunately start to paint an image of the entire community based on a handful of viral clips. Not because they reflect us, because obviously, I'm not on that. If you're black, you're probably not on this. At the end of the day, though, all the viral content is based on real situations that happened in the real world. Now let's take a closer look at
Yeah, okay. So I agree with that. That this stuff is amplified and promoted
Right.
to.
Was this a Asian or Latina couple? Like it's everywhere. There's white bro, just like there's black ghetto and ratchet is just another way of saying trash. A trash human. Quote unquote. I'm not even gonna throw them away just because they come from like I said, they started at the back of the race and they got shot in the foot. But that would be considered black trash. The same as there's white trash. Like they call white trailer people white trailer trash. There's white trash, there's black trash, there's Mexican trash or Asian trash, Hispanic trash, there's Greek trash, there's Jew trash. There's just trash human beings, bro. Why you gotta put why you gotta replace trash with the race? It's almost like y'all are saying trash equals black. You see? It's that little, that's how they slip it in. You don't realize, but that's what they're saying unconsciously is trash people are black people. You feel me?
Serves propaganda to paint the black community
Thank you, Don.
Negatively in a, it's a
Come on, bro.
Representing the black community.
Bro. Yeah. We've seen a lot of we've seen a lot of white people argue with police. We've seen a lot of white people jump at police. We've seen a lot of white people come at police with knives, resist arrest. We've seen white people speed. We've seen white people get in cars. We've seen white people drive. Like, again, even with the country people, they say black dudes get drunk, beat up their girlfriends, and the whole Don Julio thing. We see and witness country singers talk about getting drunk off whiskey, moonshine, and beating their girls, cheating on their women. Nobody ever says shit. It's cool and it's vibing, and that's just the good old country. But when we do it, it's cool. It's niggatry. You feel me? We are humans, bro. They love to dehumanize us and make it seem like what we do is completely unique in its own regard. When yes, the way we do music and our art is for sure unique in its own regard in a good way. But at the end of the day, we're just humans doing human things that all humans do. All humans kidnap, murder, all of these things. All humans.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. But if you're a black person and you recognize that, how could you ever then engage with this black fatigue narrative? It's all fabricated.
Some of the real world examples that have been,
and it's like, why are you tired of it if you're not the only person who really has the right to have black fatigue, the quote unquote being tired of ghetto culture, is not white people, not lawmakers, maybe police officers, since they may have to deal with those type of people more often and it makes their job harder. But hey, you join the system. Once you understand the history and system, you understand that even your badge is part that upholds the system without you even realizing it. The only person that really should be tired of ghetto culture is the people in ghetto culture that constantly walk out their door. The kid who's smart wants to get out of it but can't due to their financial backgrounds, due to not having a father or mother, whatever, father on drugs, mother on drugs. Those are the only people who genuinely should have a right to be tired of quote unquote ghetto culture, because they want to elevate above it, but their foundation and environment won't allow them to.
In these conversations, starting with the Dine and Dash incidents. Now, during the pandemic, or should I say the bandemic, in 2020, when the stimmy checks, the ban started hitting people's accounts.
Look, those aren't American dollars. This nigga
nigga's not even African. You don't have the right to speak on something if you're not that. Which is why I said, even with the whole Fantano conversation, I don't care about Fantano enough to even hold him to a standard because he's white. You're not African American. If you're not us, you fully don't have a right, and you don't have a full perspective, because you weren't the intended person to fully be able to digest this. It's like you being in a 98 Honda Civic and you're putting 93 in your car. There's no point, because you don't have the intended parts to fully digest what this is. It wasn't made for you. You're not for us.
In America, he ain't even an immigrant,
bro. Come on, bro.
And everybody started acting like Black Youngster when he first signed his record deal. Yes, the bandemic. Your money. We start seeing more of these so-called dine and dash videos pop up.
We've all heard of dining and dashing. That's when
this is people who think they're better than us because they never experienced it.
Customer comes into a restaurant, grabs a bite to eat, and then skips out on the bill, leaving the restaurant without paying.
For all my international viewers, dine and dash is when people go to a restaurant, stuff their greedy bellies with food, drinks, and all that you can possibly eat, and then
what do you mean the people do that everywhere?
Yo, yeah, bro. Even with the whole DoorDash thing, when people say they didn't get their DoorDash food, everybody does that. That's not just black people. White people, I've heard so many white people say, yo, bro, I just act like I didn't give. I can pull that shit up right now on TikTok, nigga. And look, watch this shit. Watch this shit. Ooh, that's a pretty gal on my page. White, say my DoorDash never came. Now look at this shit. People say that shit all the flipping time. Now, granted, it's showing me more black people because I'm black, so it's going to show me more of what I would interact with. But everybody says that.
Everywhere.
Everybody does that.
There isn't a place where there are restaurants where people don't do that.
Come on, bro.
Unless there are some very incredibly strict laws in place.
You telling me there's not people that steal the hotel soap and the towels as well? Everybody does that. Everybody does that.
Punish people severely for doing things like that.
They leave and they don't pay a single dime. This phenomenon or crime
Maybe niggas is broke. Maybe they don't got no food. I don't know.
Has always existed, but it became increasingly common in America after the pandemic.
They watched as the party of 7 sat at their table, their food already packaged in to-go boxes. Then they began to get up and eventually run out the restaurant's door, leaving their $200 bill unpaid.
So these clips of large groups walking out without paying began to go viral after 2020. And as it relates to the topic at hand, unfortunately, the majority of the people in those videos were black. And
bro. Oh yeah, Don's pulling them up, but this is propaganda. This is propaganda. When they're showing you one specific thing, when they're only showing you this candidate is bad, this candidate is bad, they're only showing you bad findings about one candidate, that is propaganda. When they're telling you only the bad things about something, that is propaganda to sway you to fully believe this side is good or this side is bad. It's called propaganda, ladies and gentlemen. We learned about it at school. The only difference is you forgot that it's called propaganda and you mistake it as reality.
It makes us look very bad. Now, is it all black folks? Of course not, because we're not a monolith. The behavior of one.
Not only that,
but
how many black people are eating at restaurants every day? So how many of these videos can you find? Now, how many millions of black people dine at restaurants every day? And then how many videos of other people
are doing the exact same thing
aren't getting pushed and
if not more
viral,
frequently,
right?
If not
individual
more frequently.
doesn't mean the next person is going to show up in the same way. So applying that assumption broadly would be inaccurate. I mean, if you're black, if you're watching this, I'm sure we're probably going to relate, but I would personally never go to a restaurant if I knew that my account was empty. I mean, at that point, we're having sleep for dinner because we're grown, okay? However, with that being said, one thing I've consistently heard from a lot of
this nigga ain't never had sleep for dinner in his life.
Yeah, I don't like niggas like this.
My friends in the service industry, I'm talking waiters and waitresses and even restaurant managers, is that black customers are the hardest to serve. Now, this has not only been said by all races of people, but I'm saying like other black folks in the service industry are saying this, okay? Whether it's not tipping, sending food back too often, or asking for refunds after they've ate, it's often said that those things are more.
Yo, that was fucked up. I'm not gonna lie, that was fucked up. But nah, that's just a dude. Why is that, dude, bro? Come on, bro.
Among black customers, so that's the perception.
Right. See,
a lot of people in the service industry.
When a white boy arguing with his mom and he punches his mom or he punches his girlfriend, and the cop has to come around and tase him. And they'll be like, yeah, white people are so violent. Like, bro, come on, bro. Don't do this.
Which is very unfortunate and it's very sad.
Yeah, look,
I mean, it's not a comfortable thing to acknowledge or even talk about. I hate the fact that some people might expect a certain type of behavior of people who look like me as soon as, let's say, we might step into a spot, right? And all.
Why are you what are you talking about? You don't live in America.
Come on, bro.
What are you talking about?
You don't even know what it's
never
like.
Experienced that.
You don't know what it's like.
You know, the stereotype doesn't obviously apply to all black people. Like,
and I'm not saying America is a completely racist, bad place, but it has its problems just like anywhere else. And you don't know what it's like being here since a child. And like, y'all just don't know what it's like, bruh. Stop it.
Me or you, I can't, if you're black, that is. If you're white, then obviously.
I get amazing customer service regardless of whatever restaurant I go to.
Me
black,
too.
white, Mexican, I never feel as if the servers are, I don't give a fuck. You're projecting onto them. You're projecting onto them that they feel a certain way about you just because you're black.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true. You're making that up in your mind. You're buying into the racist propaganda. And are there some servers that might feel that way? Sure, and fuck them. I don't give a fuck.
I found the old saying, you attract what you are. So if you have a racist mindset and you believe that white people don't like black people because they're black, and you believe black people are fucked up towards other black people, well then you choose to find what you find what you choose to look for. So if that's your mindset and that's what you believe, you're gonna attract people that also believe that. The same as if you're toxic, you're gonna attract people that are toxic. You feel me? So the people who are finding this stuff is because they are racist within themselves and they have racist and low vibrational mindsets. So they're attracting people in a situations on their algorithms, and I guess apparently in real life consistently, which I don't believe, to make them experience that and then try to brand that as a everybody problem, when in actuality this is a you problem. Like if you feel this way towards your fellow black people, that's a you problem, because I don't feel this way.
They still don't treat me any differently.
Me neither.
You know, so why worry about it?
Everybody treats me cool.
I can't ignore the experiences they've shared with me. Now let's dive into the dine and dash stuff a little more, because speaking of a particular incident, which was one of the news stories I played you earlier, it went viral a few weeks ago. A black-owned restaurant in Chicago called Flav's served 3 people, 2 women and a man, all black, and they decided to run up a tab of over $200 of shrimp and lobster, okay, and a bunch of drinks too. And then they decided to...
If this was such a problem as they were making it too, you know what they would do to people? They would make people pay before they ate. If this was such a problem the way they're making it seem to, restaurants would immediately start having people pay before they receive their orders, but they don't do that. They don't.
To run out the spot.
It's actually disappointing. You know, it's very disappointing to see that from the community that we actually serve, because we pour into our community. We're a small business, and I see this happening so often to a lot of different small businesses throughout the city.
Now, I'm not saying that doing this to other groups of people, regardless of race, is okay, but it's extremely sad that this was black folks doing this to other black folks. The young woman, the waitress.
White people do this all the time to white people.
Why is it?
It's like, because y'all expect, since we went through slavery, not only do y'all not expect us to still, decades later, to have some sort of psychological disorders and the racist system that still upholds some of the ideologies in slavery, but it's like y'all expect because of that, or because we look like each other, we're just not going to do each other wrong. As if you don't have arguments with your brother, as if people in your family don't scam each other out of money. Like, what does being black have to do with you not doing wrong? Every human does wrong. People from each race, people do wrong. Why do you have to make it? Because one person happened to be black and the other person had to do black. Who's to say he wouldn't do the same thing to a white-owned business? Now, there is some people who have been indoctrinated with the self-hate and they only do wrong to black people. But I don't think that's the case necessarily.
Extremely sad that it's black folks doing it to other black folks.
But it happens.
People commit crimes within their communities all the time. White people steal from white people. Asian people steal from Asian people. Mexican people steal from Mexican people.
Epstein, Diddy, whoever the guy was on Nickelodeon. Come on, bro. But niggas, you notice they had the Nickelodeon nigga who was touching on Drake and Josh and iCarly and all them boys. They had the Epstein nigga, but notice how the person they focus on the most is Diddy. You see? You see? It's anti-black, bro. It's anti-blackness propaganda. And they have all us black people. Hey, I'm not saying he wasn't wrong and whatever, but you see how the main person that's focused on and memeified is the black one. Is the black one.
It was Wednesday evening around 6:30 at the Shogun restaurant on Madison Avenue when a man ran up a $400 dinner tab and then allegedly ran out without paying. This video, captured by the Lark Tavern surveillance camera next door, shows the man carrying 2 takeout bags, approached by Shogun employees looking for their money.
Dang,
punches were thrown. Punches landed. Bystanders joined in. In fact, one woman walking her dog deployed pepper spray on the fleeing food fighter. Unfortunately, one of the punches landed especially hard on the forehead of a Shogun employee.
Okay, I'm not saying that it's justified or it's okay, but
it happens.
I promise you, it's not
everywhere.
Rich black people doing this shit. It's not even middle class black people doing this shit. It's poor, broke black people. It's poor, broke, everybody doing this shit.
White trash,
you know what I'm
black
saying?
trash.
Now, another
Jew
story
trash,
that went viral, again, featuring black folks. Absolutely hate the fact that we're getting this type of PR, but it is what it is, right? This story involved 3 black women, once again, in Chicago.
So why are you amplifying?
Why are you only? It's like you're only focusing on the black ones. You didn't say one thing about white people. You said, well, you know, black people, white people do this all. Say some of their stories, but you only keep mentioning black people stuff.
You amplifying it if you know that other communities commit these crimes as well, and they're not getting amplified.
Because you want
Why
views.
Are you amplifying it?
He's pandering. This is called pandering.
Can somebody tell me what's in the water in Chicago with all these incidents happening? The audacity of this particular story is next level, because these 3 women didn't only dine and dash after a $262 bill. They were also caught in 4K, strike number 1.
The 3 women from Rochester, New York visited Soul Vibes in the Near North neighborhood to celebrate a birthday and left behind a surprise, an unpaid tab of over $200.
When a man ran up a $400 dinner tab and then allegedly
stole, right? And that's how they ended up getting.
I'm Greg.
I'm Gabby.
caught.
It's a showdown between a restaurant manager and a customer he's accusing of not paying for her beer.
Please pay.
Behalf. The video was posted on Facebook.
And to add insult to injury, they posted this onto social media, thanking the restaurant for the free food while laughing at waitstaff like Chloe Jackson.
And that's nasty, and that's bullshit. And
that's crazy.
Fucked up, and it's wrong.
That is fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? But
they might be going band for band with bro who just walked by and, but not like, why is that? That's not.
Why are
me.
you using this?
I would never do something like this. If I'm going to do something illegal, I'm going to do it very discreetly. But like, I would never do something like this. I'm blacker than ever. I love black music. I love black women. I love black dances. I love black songs. I love black food. I just love black. I love dark-skinned people. I love black everything. Black to my veins. If I had to come back as black, I'd be blacker than black even in times of lynching, bro. So, but I don't have this type of shit in my heart. So,
to push this idea of black fatigue. I'm black. I don't do this shit
at all.
See, if you want to call this poor ghetto fatigue, then okay, now we're making progress.
Still
but
weird,
here's the reason why they
maybe.
don't do that, and the reason they opt for the more racist term.
I know a lot of poor ghetto people that are very respectful, that are great to be around, charismatic, wouldn't steal from you. Real. I know a lot of people from the bottom that are at the top. In here. So don't hit me with that
term of black fatigue. Because one, they're fucking racist, and two, if we start calling it ghetto fatigue,
it gives
well,
more
then
racist
the conversation will then arise. Okay, so why are people in the ghetto doing this?
Then the whole conversation falls apart because, like he's about to explain, well, how did we get to ghetto? Who created the ghettos? Who created the conditions for a race to have to live within the ghetto and off the titty of said system? Then the whole conversation falls apart because you know who it goes back to? And this is why white people don't like talking about stuff like that unless it's from their pedestalized perspective. Because as soon as we start peeling back layers and start to understand how we got here, they're the problem. Not all white people, but the ones that created this and continue, the same ones that just inherit land and buildings and businesses built off the backs of slaves. Those same people. Then we start pointing fingers, and then see. The reason why a lot of white people don't want to combat these problems as well is by them acknowledging their privilege, the system that benefits them, the same system that again shot us in the leg and started a lot of us at the last place of the race. It makes it where they would have to relinquish their power. For an ideal system means no white supremacy, and that means white people will not only have to acknowledge their white privilege and supremacy that helps them, but it also means they wouldn't be allowed to benefit off it anymore. So that's why they don't want to acknowledge it. Even if they consciously don't understand that, subconsciously they understand that.
Because they're poor and poorly educated. Oh, why are they poor and poorly educated?
White people.
Now we got to talk about history.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got to talk about the deindustrialization that destroyed black families financially.
If I raped and psychically tortured a whole race and socially engineered them, and it's been documented where modern day today, they said 200 years later, which is to modern day right now, that they still would be acting like this and continuing on this cycle after you give it to them. If I did something like that, I wouldn't want to admit to it either. Straight shame. There's fathers that aren't in their children's lives and still don't make an effort later on when they get on their feet and they get in the right mindset due to shame. If people are shamed to talk about beating their meats, what makes you think, oh, these people ain't shamed of what they've done? But they'll let that, and just because, like I said, they want to keep the system that benefits them, they'll let that overtake them doing the right thing of righting the wrongs of their ancestors.
In the 1970s and 80s, and
how
we're
video,
still
y'all.
feeling the ripple effects of that.
This is a video you watch while you on a long car ride, you on a walk, you in the bathroom, you in the shower. This is a long one for y'all boys. Probably my longest video ever.
How the war on drugs and
they put crack and guns in the streets of ghettos, bro. It doesn't get any more, we want y'all to destroy ourselves, but we actually are going to destroy y'all, but we're going to brand it as y'all destroyed yourselves. It doesn't get no more than that.
On crime bills that were passed by Nixon and then made worse by guys like Reagan and Clinton, how they disproportionately targeted black communities for using less drugs and punish them harder. Yes, that's
With
right.
more
Less
drugs
and punish them harder. For instance, let's look at the crack epidemic, as they like to call it. Well, turns out that historically black people have used less cocaine than white people. That's right. There's an epidemic.
The first person I ever saw do cocaine was a white person in a movie theater parking lot about 2 months ago. White trash.
But the people who it's associated with use less of the drug. Historically, you can fact check this. Go to ChatGPT, look this shit up.
Yep.
White people have historically,
They're
in
more
the
than
past
us.
and still today, used more cocaine than black people.
Yep.
That's right. In 5 grams of crack, you have less cocaine than 5 grams of cocaine, obviously. But yet, during the war on drugs campaign, you guess what? 5 grams of crack will get you 5 years in prison. In order to get 5 years in prison for cocaine, which is the form of the substance that was primarily used by white people, and white people use plenty of crack too, don't get me wrong, but you would need 500 grams of cocaine.
There's black dealers who distributed weed in the hood because they weren't able to put it in the capitalistic system of America, even though it's put in the capitalistic system of America just based off money being the form of currency in those businesses that started those hood businesses off the books because they don't want to get taxed, financial circumstances, environmental circumstances, and they got put in jail, and some are still in jail for that, even a blunt. Yet there's white boys right now with dispensaries selling that years later with that exact same business, and those people who legalized the weed did not make those men become out of jail. So now when those boys got a record and they can't get a job because of the weed or because they're trying to feed their family, whatever, because they had to kill somebody else because there's either their lives or that person's lives, now the only form of job they can get is sometimes underpaid labor. Like the niggas you see working on the side of railroads, the niggas you see working on the side of the road, because that's all they can get, working at McDonald's. So they get underpaid and overworked, the same as a modern day slave. You see how it works? They put you in a system that's made for you to fail, and then whenever you fail because you were meant to fail, they like, oh, well, just come over here and you got to do this instead, which is pretty much just slave work. That's what modern day slavery is.
Check that out. 500 grams of cocaine would make almost 1,000 grams. You could get almost 1,000 grams of crack out of that. 5 grams of crack. Look how fucked up this is. Would get you more or the.
If you play video games a lot, you.
I'm sorry, if I can't tell, I'm really engulfed in this conversation, bro.
1,000 grams as having the equivalent amount of cocaine required to make 1,000 grams of crack. And it's the cocaine that gets you high. That's it. Not the shit they add to it to turn it into a smokable substance known as crack cocaine. So white people were using cocaine more than the black community. Of course, the black community turned it into crack, a weaker, more affordable substance that can be smoked
and sold more,
and then they
more
get punished harder for it.
You see how it works?
Made that make sense?
You see how it
we
works?
would have to talk about all of that if we started calling it ghetto
and that's
fatigue,
why we couldn't do it. That's why.
So let's just call it black fatigue. Make it race-based. Make it racial.
To avoid their own that was to cover up their own tracks.
Tired of black people. You don't hear that? You don't.
The people who did this are a lot smarter than you think. The fact they could even social engineer a world like this to where we have this supremacy view and black people thinking it's other black people's fault was carefully crafted long before any of us were here. I just want you to know that. I know the running joke is people back then were cavemen and ooh, ooh, ah, ah, but actually back then, I think they knew exactly what they were doing when they did what they very intentional.
See what you're doing? You're making it okay for white people to say, we're tired of black people.
And y'all brought us here. We're tired of y'all, even though we brought y'all here, raped y'all, overworked y'all, stole y'all, stole some of y'all land, made y'all work for free, built our land, and then didn't help y'all get back up after we beat y'all and raped y'all and threw y'all to the ground. And we're mad at y'all that y'all are fucked up. Make it make sense, bro.
Black person.
Make
I'm
it
a
make
black
sense.
person.
Make
That's
it make
that's a
sense.
racist term because I ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
But they don't want to make
talk
it
to-
specific because if you make it specific, we got to talk about white supremacy.
Make it make sense. Make it make
fatigue
sense.
with what often is called ghetto culture. And ghetto culture is not black culture, nor is it foundational.
Yes, it is. Ghetto culture is a part of black culture. Why? Because they're black people. And why is it a part of black culture? Why did it exist? Why did it arise? And first and foremost, not all of it is bad. Just because it's not European doesn't mean it's bad.
Just because niggas aren't in suit and ties and they're not speaking in a monotone voice and they're not speaking in perfect English vernacular doesn't mean it's bad. That doesn't mean it's dumb either or it's any worse. I said it with the whole sexy red thing, even though I don't agree and no, I would not want my daughter to be sexy red, nor would I marry or date a girl or really fully be associated with a woman like sexy red, the way she carries herself. But that's a story. And her story is being told. And as much as people hate it and they're not comfortable with it, that's still a story that needs to be told. That's often forgotten. That's often overlooked. That's a story. And it electrifies those people who may need it. Those people may never be rich, but you want them to be depressed and rich. At least let them be happy. At least let them twerk at least let them twerk. They already gonna die poor and die at the bottom. At least let them have fun at the bottom. Y'all don't even want the niggas to have fun at the bottom. Y'all don't even want them to be seen. It's a pedestalized perspective y'all try to have, bro.
Being loud isn't bad. There are plenty of cultures that are loud that aren't perceived as bad. For instance, like I said, my wife is half Korean, and the
Japanese, at that point, it's not loud though. It's just cute, innocent, and fun. But when we loud and we have fun in public, it's, you see?
Korean side of the family is very, very Korean.
I used to always get on my mom for being loud, like, cause like, Mom, why you being so loud in public? Calm down, cause she talked mad loud on the phone. But I was at the airport and there's this guy who was on the phone way loud, straight white dude, one of those Jersey sounding white dudes. Yeah, man, she cheated, and I'm just loud, no regard for anybody. It's a white boy.
And I've had the privilege to go and visit and spend time with them. Lovely people. They're fucking loud, dude. I grew up in Jamaica. We have a very large Chinese population. One of my closest...
You never heard an Asian person get mad at a child or a husband in real life? They get real loud. They get very loud. No regard for anybody else around them.
Cousins, who's like a big sister to me, she married a Chinese man who moved to Jamaica as a child from China. His parents are all fucking Chinese as fuck. Dude speaks Chinese. But he also has an incredibly thick Jamaican accent. It's the most fucking mind-blowing thing you'll ever see, dude. This guy will go from speaking Chinese to his parents to being, sounding way more Jamaican than I fucking do. You know what I'm saying? Real yachty. You know what I mean? No, they make a lot of those noises. Fucking at the dinner table,
Black
bro.
American culture.
Be at the fucking restaurant, a Chinese restaurant. They're loud.
Why do they do that for
but
real?
It's not bad because they're not black. Right? There's nothing bad
They got you.
about the way black people dance, about the way we talk,
Not
about the way we dress. It's
None of
just
that.
because it's not white. And so it's bad.
When I say the word culture, by the way, I mean it in the actual definition. And the definition is the shared attitudes, behaviors, and values of a specific group of people. This isn't about race, it's a mindset.
Yeah, like when niggas was mad because niggas was having fun at your graduation. So what? We're going against tradition. I do agree you shouldn't be holding people up in a line. You shouldn't be doing something straight for like a minute, holding somebody else up behind you, trying to get their diploma, because it's not just your ceremony. I 100% agree. But like, bro, enjoy it. You earned it. Enjoy it. Rock it how you want to rock it. Hold your weight how you want to hold your weight. There's two people that can be 200 pounds, 6 foot, and look completely different. You hold the weight how you want to hold the weight, but don't be mad at somebody else because their body's nice and yours look ugly. Don't be mad.
That anyone can adopt.
Then why are you calling it black?
Exactly.
Why are you calling it black fatigue if it's not about race?
Exactly. You're pandering and you're ignorant. You're pandering, ignorant, and you think you're better than us.
Racial background. With that being said, I've seen this kind of behavior from white folks, Hispanic folks, and black folks, of course. So it's not about skin color.
So why are you calling it black fatigue?
Why are you making this video? Why are you making this video, and why is it titled "We Are Tired of Ghetto Culture"? Why did you not change the title to "Black Fatigue is Not a Real Thing" or "Black Fatigue is Not About Race"? These people. Why is your perspective not the words coming out of your mouth, why has the consensus of this video, your perspective, have not reflected that? Why is your perspective more reflective of complaining and singling out Black people and making certain people a collective speaking for the actions of all Black people? But then you try to backpedal and save yourself and say that is essential. People can't say that you marginalize us, even though you did this whole video by only showing Black people being wrong and specific types of people that just so happen to be Black. Why? Why, kind sir?
Are you calling it Black fatigue then? Why are you co-signing that if you're saying you've seen this behavior from all kinds of people?
About class, environment, and ultimately how someone chooses to carry themselves. Because the way you choose to walk through this life, your demeanor, your energy, that's not only something you can control, but it is a conscious decision. We all have a choice in how we show up. So when I mention ghetto culture, I'm not talking about Blackness. I'm talking about a specific pattern of behavior, which is undoubtedly dysfunctional and not a productive way of showing.
And it is a part of Black culture. It is not all of Black culture, but it is a part of Black culture.
Sexy Red is a part of Black culture. Kai Cenat is a part of Black culture. Kevin Hart is a part of Black culture. Kobe Bryant is part of Black culture. Beyonce is also a part of Black culture. Michael Jordan is a part of Black culture. Michael Jackson is a part of Black culture. Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, also a part of Black culture. So yeah,
and trying to villainize the people who are the result of essentially being the least fortunate of us all.
Yes.
Right? The people.
You don't go to one McDonald's. You don't go to one McDonald's and get terrible customer service. Some people do actually, but you don't go to one McDonald's and get terrible customer service or the food's nasty at that one McDonald's and then go every McDonald's is trash. You don't do that. If you do, you're stupid. You're very stupid. But you don't do that. So don't stop doing that with people, bro.
Who came from the most unfortunate family background in terms of oppression and opportunities.
Dad might have been absent. Mom might have been on
being
drugs.
Victims of racism and all kinds of fucking bullshit. You're going to now turn around as being, well, not even you, because you're not even here, dude. You're not even fucking here. But anybody who is here and engages in that shit, you're going to turn around and look down upon the people who are just.
I notice a lot of people in these conversations as well. Either they normally come from like a very suburban, like definitely a background where they never had to experience that, and or they must have never had no family. Because see me, even though I come from the suburbs, like I said, I have a lot of hood ties, like cousins wise. Like I got a lot of cousins from the hood. I've been in the hood a lot of the times in my childhood with family, weekends, summer vacations, stuff like that. And I've been. The first few years of my life, I was in like the hood, Section 8, right? But a lot of these people, they never even experienced like that struggle to know what it's like to even come from that and make it over it. Because they want to acknowledge the people that never made over it, and it's essentially victim shaming when you really think about it. You see a woman get raped, and you're like, well, you should have fought. You should have fought the guy off. You should have got out of that situation. You shouldn't even been at that dude's house to begin with. Victim shaming. It's called victim shaming, bro.
The least fortunate. That's all the only difference between them and you. If you were born in that environment, that's exactly who you would fucking be. And you're a fucking like psycho if you think otherwise. How do you know that? Because you believe that good parenting matters. Why does good parenting matter?
And a lot of it is often born from struggle, limited resources, and sometimes a rejection of accountability. And the accountability aspect is important because when Black people are constantly boxed into a certain.
We've had like 1,000.
The thing he's complaining about, it's like he's trying to save his own self.
Identity by the world, but especially by each other. It creates a mental and cultural trap, which is ironic because that kind of makes me think about trap music and the fact that trap music is a thing. Because when you really think about the name, it sounds like the soundtrack for a lifestyle designed to keep you stuck, trapped in survival mode.
Nigga, stop talking about Black music.
He says survival mode. She's like, what is survival mode? What is survival mode? I want him to tell, like, what is survival mode to you? You don't know what survival mode is. Come on, bro. So at least not, maybe for your village or whatever, but not for African American. You don't know what survival is. Because every day in America is survival. Whether you're rich or broke, every day is survival. Every day you can be profiled. Every day you can be killed. Every day, Black men, every day people in general go missing, specifically a lot of Black people too, go missing for their organs, and their organs are harvested. Every day. So don't tell me nothing shit about no survival, motherfucker. Every day.
Stop talking about Black music, bro.
Stop talking about
because you can't sit
Agreed.
here.
All commentary channels that protected Neon when he said the racist stuff, or Hulk Hogan, stop talking about black commentary, because y'all love and uphold the systems and the people in those systems that take advantage of it to destroy us, and which means by extension our culture. But y'all also make money in farm off of our culture and eat off of it. Stop talking about our shit if you hate it so much. Because those same people you're marginalizing and shaming are the same people that make you the money. The same people that probably even watch you, nigga. Agreed.
As a fucking dude who doesn't live in America, judging black Americans while enriching yourself off of black American culture, enriching yourself off of hip hop, you can't do that, bro. You cannot do that. This is diabolical. You're a foreign man in a foreign land looking down upon
Shout out to Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, amazing YouTube channel who tackles problems just like this, actually.
People that you are then using the shit they make to get rich, dude.
You're weird.
Oy, oy, oy. Look, I've watched plenty of Blackie Speaks.
And he has pretty decent videos, bro, honestly. This is a weird one.
I understand why immigrants and foreigners
and
don't get it because they don't know black American history. But then you bend the knee and you succumb to the pressures of racism because you give a fuck about what other people think about you. Nigga,
that's why you're so black and preppy and so perfect and classy, or quote unquote. You're just trying to make white people feel comfortable around you because you're not comfortable enough in yourself. You just want to suck on white people's titty. And even though you may not realize it, you're being affected from slavery just like the rest of us. The only thing is, those black people, they have the confidence. The Sexy Reds, they have the confidence to brand that is their whole brand. They have the confidence to walk around and the balls to actually walk around and be what they are. You so scared and want to be so accepted by mommy America and the white people who don't give a damn about you anyways. They care more about their dog than you. That you would rather do whatever makes them feel comfortable than to come over here with the good old black folks, which is not all black folks, again, by the way. So you're just as the same thing you're judging other people for is what you're doing. You're just doing it in a way that pleases the slave master. That's all. You're a house
That's
nigga.
their problem.
You are a house nigga, pretty much.
If you, as a white man, want to look at all black people a certain way because of the behavior of a few black people that then gets amplified online, then that's your fucking problem.
That's
dude.
your
You're
problem.
not gonna get me to switch up on my people.
Agreed.
That's your problem. That's a you issue.
Don't make that a everybody thing on God. Why y'all? It's like whenever girls, like a guy cheats on them and all men cheat. Don't make that all of our problem. That's your problem because the men you keep attracting and the men you keep allowing your vicinity and the men and people you can't see for what they really are until it's evidently too late. That's a you problem. That's not everybody's. That's the problem with the internet. It's not everybody's problem that you don't know how to attract the right type of people. That's not everybody.
And the way you perceive me, I don't give a fuck. That don't got shit to do with me.
Trap music, trapped in dysfunction, and ultimately trapped in the lower levels of society. And often when a black person within the community wants to grow, like they make a decision to actually grow or take a responsibility or move differently, they're met with pushback from their own people. They get told things like, you think you're better than us, or that's not how we do things. A lot of my black folks, I'm sure y'all can relate to.
No, I can't.
I don't.
Imagine being able to build
I don't relate to really this whole video. I don't relate. The moment I educated myself fully on our history and kind of watched a couple videos, had a realization with my own self and, obviously going through life, experiencing my own things and wanted to stop pandering for just views. Cause a lot of this is just pandering for views. People understand that white people don't like black people. They don't understand black people like that. And they can make a video like this. And if you go under the comments, it's just white people agreeing, AKA it's not about actually having a talk for change, because this isn't how you speak to those people anyways. Because if I can't eat and you're telling me about God and shit and I can't eat, I don't give a fuck about God. I'm trying to find some food, my nigga. So this is just a video and this is just a breeding ground and pretty much just a place, a beam location. Think of it as like a North Star where racists and white people who don't understand black people and don't care to understand can just enter a self-fulfilling prophecy where they can just sit around and talk about black people and complain. That's all this video is. And I guarantee if you go under the comments, that's what you will see. That's all this is. This is pretty much pandering and race mongering.
Oh, Ever.
For money.
When has that ever happened to
Capitalism.
you? Where a black person seen you reading a book and be like, oh, you think you better than this?
Nobody's ever said that to me.
Now, if you...
I've been doing the most nerdish, non-blackest thing, like reading a book, listening to a song, watching a TV show, eating a certain food, whatever, and still been able to talk and resonate with people that don't come nowhere near that type of world that I came from. So it has nothing to, you can't attract black women because you're nerdy. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing. At least it also depends on what type of woman you want to, but more time it has nothing to do with that. You just think you're not worthy, and you value external things, so you place people liking you on external things. That's all that is.
Pretentious, then yeah, niggas will say that shit to you.
It's pretentious.
Niggas will say that shit to you. You know, this imagery that there's this just gang of black kids rolling around neighborhoods smacking math books out of little black boys' hands is just it's fucking bullshit, though.
Stupid.
It's just more racist propaganda.
Propaganda. Amen.
Exactly what I'm talking about right now. Elevating beyond who you used to be becomes a problem, and sticking with what you know becomes the norm, even if it means staying stuck in pain or dysfunction down the line. And the question is, why is this accountability issue even a thing in the first place, specifically within parts of the black community in America? Understanding this is not about making excuses, by the way, because we do have to acknowledge the subconscious effect of generations of instability and what it really does to people. When you grow up in environments where poverty is the norm, where instability is constant and neglect is a part of daily life, what happens is certain mindset start to form. You learn to cut corners because survival starts to feel more important than structure, and you begin to distrust institutions, which, to be fair,
survival is more important than structure. Survival doesn't feel more important than structure. It is more important.
Synchronicities with Don. I just said, if you are hungry and you can't eat, you have no food, you're hungry, and a nigga comes to you with some God shit or the systematic, we need, my brother, nobody wants to hear that shit when you can't even eat. You can't even eat. You can't even eat. What part of that do y'all not get? Whenever you are thirsty, the only thing that matters to you is water. Not no damn moral hike, it's water. The fuck do y'all not get about that?
In structure, I promise you, if you were starving to death and you had the opportunity to steal some food, you're stealing that fucking food, dude.
Nobody cares about the Bible when you're hungry.
Once you get desperate enough, you will do that. That's why people eat food out of the garbage. Nobody wants to eat food out of the garbage, but if you get hungry enough, you have no other choice, you will eat food out of the garbage. I will, you will, everybody will. That's what starving people do.
People in America have had valid reasons to distrust for a long time. You feel like the world around.
It's funny, the same white and black people that say they hate quote unquote ghetto culture and the people who uplift it love Kendrick Lamar. But little do they know his whole brand before this rebranding with, the whole GNX and all that was speaking out against social injustices and speaking up for those same black people that y'all hate and y'all say are black fatigue. Funny enough, To Pimp a Butterfly was speaking up in the voice of the Sexy Reds, the black culture, the black fatigue people y'all speak of. That was the whole point of Kendrick Lamar before this rebranding. Funny enough, I just find that so funny.
You has failed you, and that leads to behaviors rooted in avoidance, rebellion, and sometimes hopelessness.
You don't
During
know what
the
you're
Jim
talking
Crow era,
about, buddy.
Black people were stripped of opportunity, education, protection, and dignity.
What about slavery? Let's not start at Jim Crow. Let's talk about slavery, because we made it over slavery. So it's like we got out of prison just for somebody to say, hey, there's another warrant out for you. Now you got to go to this jail over here for another 100 years. We got out of slavery to walk right into Jim Crow, to walk right into segregation, to walk right into blackface, to walk right into lynches, public lynchings, to walk right into all these things. So that's trauma up. We got out of one fight just exhausted, just to have to go into another fight where we were tired from the last fight and the other people re-energized with the referees on their side. Of course we're gonna lose the fucking fight. Of course. But you only start saying this is the reason why they're so fucked up, because of one fight. But there's a whole nother fight before that, which, by the way, we were involuntarily put into. We didn't even want to fight. We had to fight by the way, buddy.
Communities were locked out of wealth building and basic rights, and that creates a ripple effect.
Cool.
When generation after generation is forced to adapt just to survive, it plants the seed for behavior.
I'm not even mad at Black Keys because he just don't know. And if he does know and he's a fucking man. But it's just ignorance. We've all been there.
Rooted in survival over structure. So right now we're talking about the psychological and subconscious effect of what's happened in history. But even with all that context, okay, with all that being said, I want to make something very clear. At the end of the day, how you show up in public spaces, and like we touched on earlier, ghetto culture and Black culture are not the same thing.
Bro, it is a statistical fact that more poverty equals more crime. That is a fact, bro. That is a fact. You cannot get away from that. And so you got to ask yourself, why does the wealth gap exist between the Black and white community?
Or not isn't about slavery or Jim Crow. It's about personal accountability. Whether you're white, Black, Latino, Asian, purple, green, I don't care, blue. The truth is, people from all backgrounds are tired of ghetto culture. And like we touched on earlier, ghetto culture and Black culture are not the same thing. They've been falsely lumped together, especially by the entertainment industry, in order to sell an image, but they're not synonymous, and they are not the same thing. What's really...
Again, they are. Yes, they are. They're not, you know...
Graduation turned into a ghetto party. You can't even let Black kids have fun. You can't even let alone people, but these are just kids having fun, enjoying. You can't even let them have fun without marginalizing them or spitting some venom. You're a racist. And then you justify your own racist remarks in your own racist perspective to justify you being racist. These are just kids having fun, bro. Just kids having fun. Just kids having fun, man.
Ghetto Black culture isn't all of Black culture, but is a part of Black culture, and it is evidence of our history. There's some good aspects of it. There's some bad aspects of it, right? But it is evidence of what happens to a group of people when you put their ancestors through the shit that you do. White America does not want to take responsibility for that. There has not been a single government program that has ever been implemented that the sole purpose of it was addressing the oppression, the racism, the violence that has been committed against Black people. We've had affirmative action. We've had DEI in both of those situations, and we've had welfare. All of these things historically have always benefited primarily white women. They have always been the primary beneficiaries of these programs. But not only that, they're always open to everybody. They're open to gay people. They're open to Asians, to Latinos. There has never been anything. They're open to immigrants. There's never been anything that has, any policies that have been put in place to do anything about the problem that white supremacy created when they kidnapped hundreds of thousands of Black people
and harvested our
forced
organs.
them to work for free, building the wealth of this country.
They still, thousands of Black people go, specifically Black men mainly, go missing every year and get their organs harvested. Nobody ever says no shit about that. There's two Black teenagers in, I believe it was Georgia, went missing and were later found dead in the mountains, up in some mountains, not too long ago. Nobody gave a fuck. If that was white people, niggas would be in an uproar. Nobody gave a fuck. There was a young Black man that was killed by two of his classmates and rolled up in a gym mattress. And just because that boy's father was in the FBI or some shit like that, he never was prosecuted. The footage magically disappeared and his organs were harvested. There was a woman named Janika, I forgot it, Jenkins or Kanika Jenkins or something like that. Her body was found in a freezer in a hotel. The cameras just magically turned off because she walked out of camera view because there was just no cameras in this one view. And she ended up dead and her organs were missing. Nobody gives a fuck though. These are black people constantly still getting murdered, raped, beat. It's just more subtle and it's just not as frequent, but it's surely still happening. The judgments are surely still there. So we're not gonna act like it's just all Gucci now and everything's all fair, because it never was from the get-go, y'all boys.
None has been done. And so what they're doing now is by roping coons, Black coons in, to say, here's what's happened. It's a combination of things. One, white supremacy and white propaganda has convinced you that reparations is an impossibility. It can't happen. It will never happen.
It easily could happen. If they have money to be in wars with Gaza and Palestine and all this other shit that I don't really care about because I'm not there and there's nothing I really can do if I'm being honest. So I don't care about that stuff because if I'm broke, say for instance I'm broke, what does a war somewhere else happen when I'm still trying to struggle to put groceries on my own table? I can't help you put on your oxygen mask if I'm still struggling to breathe and put my own on. So I don't care about that shit. America has enough money to fund all these outside wars outside of us, but they can't give black people reparations. Make it make sense.
Right?
Make it make sense.
And so you have that aspect going on.
Make it make sense.
Then on top of that, you got...
They print thousands, if not millions of dollars every single minute, every second, but they don't have enough money to give to black people. Make it make sense.
Black people, immigrants who are coming from other countries who do not want to associate with the black American poor community. They want to distance themselves from them. They don't want to help them. They don't want to be affiliated with them. And so they are essentially trying to do the whole model minority thing and show out for white people and say, look, we're the good blacks, we're different from them. And so, and then coons of all
good boys,
backgrounds
like a good boy, house nigga.
Narrative. Why? Because if black
like a house
people
nigga.
Start talking about black fatigue, well, then
it validates it.
We will never address the reason why.
It validates this a conversation like this validates white supremacy. And like I said, it just creates a breeding ground where a bunch of white people who already feel like this because they're ignorant, uncultured, and racist can continue to. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, hey, I already believe this, and a black person saying this too, so I must not be that racist because it's like when Homelander looked around after he lasered a nigga, and everybody agreed with him. He's like, oh, they believe, wow, they accept me. It's a way for this conversation and perspectives like this help uphold white supremacy.
Small subset of the black population has some of the problems that it has, right? Like the crime, you know, and things of that nature. Being loud is not a problem. Dancing is not a problem. The music we make is not a problem.
At all.
Because white girls twerk.
White girls cheat.
White people
white boy beat up each other. White boys shoot each other. White boy rob each other.
They also have different outcomes.
White boys sell
in
drugs.
Life. So it's not the music. It's not the way they dance. It's not the way they talk. It's not the way they do their hair. It's not the way they do their nails.
Nigga, in Africa, niggas be killing kids. Niggas be marrying 12-year-olds and shit. So y'all not gonna act like, yeah, stop it. Stop it. Everybody's fucked up. Everybody's fucked up. Everybody's fucked up. Nobody's straight. We're all fucked. We're
not
all
the way
fucked.
They fucking dress, dude. It's the socioeconomic realities of this community that has been birthed out of white supremacy. That's caused a problem. White people don't want to address that. They don't want to pay what these people are owed. And that doesn't include me. It doesn't. This is for foundational black Americans. Those are the people who should receive money. Those are the people. And that's what will fix the wealth gap. If you don't want to get on that train, fine. But if you're black, please shut the fuck up. Do not engage in this coonery. Because these are people that are literally climbing out of a hole that they were thrown in historically.
And when we tried to climb out, so they threw us in this hole of slavery. They put a lid over it. Then they, quote unquote, Abraham Lincoln took the lid off. You know what they did when we tried to get out the hole? They kicked us in the face with Jim Crow laws, kicked us in the face with racial and discrimination laws, kicked us in the face with bombing Black Wall Street, kicked us in the face with kidnapping us, kicked us in the face with locking us up for weed and making it illegal, kicked us in the face by putting drugs on our community. They kept kicking us right back in the hole every time we tried to climb back out. And y'all now everybody's looking, why y'all niggas don't get out of this hole?
And so if you don't want to help, don't criticize them for the speed at which they climb out of that hole. If they can get you to say, oh, racism, slavery, Jim Crow, redlining.
It's like these house niggas, they get money. So that's why they do it too, you know? The house nigga sometimes got to, you know what I'm saying, got to sleep in the house. Sometimes got to eat the leftover scraps of the dinner, and the other slaves didn't get no, just sleep in the house. They didn't get left over. You get the scraps, which is the money that you're getting. Even 100,000 isn't nothing to the real millionaires and billion. That ain't nothing to them. So you get a little scraps and you think you're a little bit better. You still just a house nigga, boy.
In all the bullshit, the war on drugs, the tough on crime bills, the over policing of black communities, the underfunding of schools. If they can get you to push this narrative propaganda, that none of that is the reason why the black community is in the situation it is, this subset of the black community, the poorest of our brothers and sisters,
talk that shit,
which then of course leads to poor decision making and crime and things of that nature. If they can get you to say that, then they will never have to take accountability, and nothing will ever need to be done in order to rectify that. And so you just become a useful tool, a useful puppet.
Talk that shit, Don. Talk it, Don. Hey, what? Y'all niggas is coons. Y'all niggas is buffoons. Hey, y'all niggas is coons. Right out. Great video by Young Don, man, as always, man. Using his platform to speak of a change, and he completely did a 180 from where he was before. Completely changed. You're never too late to change. And even Blackies, I hope he educates himself some more, so that way he can use his platform the same as Don to come back and, you know, helpfully enlighten some other people the same way, realizing he was ignorant the same as them once. With that though, man, I'm Alice Virgo. Check out my main channel. This is my second channel where I just react. I appreciate y'all so much, and you know, I'll see you on the next one. With that, love, I'm out.